So I am the kind of person who has always thought that yoga is for people who want to empty their minds. And for this reason, it took me a very long time to even consider relaxation. However, again, when I was researching my book on mental health, one of the things that I kept coming up over and over from the coaches that I was talking to is just how important taking a stopping and breathing and just understanding your body can help you with understanding the initial causes of burnout. So, the initial signs of burnout are very physical, it manifests in physical ways. And that is the reason why this person that I am speaking to today is a perfect person to talk to. So I'm talking to Sylvie. Sylvie is a friend. She is an executive assistant. She is a yoga instructor. And Sylvie gives courses in yoga, and she's also a mentor. So she gives courses in yoga in Geneva, and she has the background of an executive assistant. So she totally understands how well-being is important for somebody who has these kinds of job. Today, mostly we focused on the importance of just standing up, sitting down when you're working, because what happens is we end up with back problems, we end up with a lot of movement issues because of the fact that we don't move. And I hope that this conversation that I had with Sylvie is something that is going to be resonating with someone. The good one about this one is it's not just for executive assistants. This one is for anybody who works in a sedentary. Is that the sedimentary? I need to figure out what word that is. That works in a place where you're sitting most of the time. Okay, have a nice, enjoy it. Hi, Sylvie. So I met Sylvie at the Executive PA Network. Sylvie is an awesome lady who is an executive assistant. She also has passion for yoga, and she's also a mentor for executive assistants. So, what I wanted to discuss with her is not her all these other things, but I want to us to have a conversation about just the wellness of assistants because that is something we care about a lot as the silent backbone. And one of the things that happens is assistants tend to sit a lot, they don't have time for themselves. There's a lot that we can unpack in this. So I want to discuss with Sylvie. We are going to talk about what assistants can do. So if you're an assistant, pay attention. If you're a boss who has an assistant, pay attention so that you can help your assistant to find time to do this. If you're somebody with a friend who is an assistant, pay attention. Basically, everybody pay attention. Okay? So, hi, Sylvie.
Hi, merci.
So, can we have a little conversation about your background, your journey?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. A background right from the beginning, or just what I have
Just your
done since the
professional background so that people know why
professional
they should listen.
background.
Yes.
Yes. I've been working for 15 years in the private banking industry. Firstly, I ended up being what we call a relationship farmer, meaning that I didn't have to go and chase clients, but I leave that business in 2009. And I didn't want to go back. I think it was a wise decision because I think now the assistant in private banking is mostly administrative, that really financial, you know. And then I decided that I really wanted to go back as an executive assistant. Um, and I ended up working for Lance& Stelling, one of the biggest law firm. and I was working in a private banking department, private clients department, with which is again the wealth, but the real wealth, not only the private banking side. And when the lawyer with whom I was working was retiring, I was looking for a job, and actually she did everything that to work with one of her clients, and this is how I became a PA for a single family office. That is my background.
So I keep saying that one day I will do a podcast about the difference between an EA, a PA, active assistant, and admin assistant, because it would be really important as we understand what the difference is, but many people don't understand. So, but we will discuss that in a different podcast. So, yes,
Yes.
continue.
Yes, and then the COVID came. I think the world stopped, and also, unfortunately, I have lost my job. I mean, the family decided that she wanted to hand over because it was a lot of estate planning. So they decided to give most of the work to the personal lawyer. And I was a bit overqualified just to, to pay the bills, so do the very little administrative they would need. And then he gave me the possibility to do what I wanted to do long, long, long time before, but I couldn't because it was taking too much time. I did my yoga certification in Hatha Yoga and Kundalini Yoga. Now I have to precise that today I'm 56 years old, almost 57.
Mhm.
And on the market, mainly it's becoming extremely difficult to find a position as a EA or PA.
Mhm.
So I decided to really make a turn in my career and take care of the health actually, because I think most of us we're working hard, and I think health is something which is somehow gifted. But through the years, I have discovered that most of people don't really pay attention until something comes up.
So that's true because from my working experience, most of the time when people start taking something like yoga or Pilates, it's because they have a back injury because of sitting too much and all that. So, tell us a bit about the yoga that you do. And is this something that, like I said, people wait until they have the back injury and then they do it. So, is this something that you see a lot that people only decide to take yoga when they feel like they have,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. As we said in French, there is an expression saying "en avoir plein d'eau." It
Yeah.
means when you have working too much pressure, stress, whatever. And it is true that normally everything comes in the back, neck,
Mm.
back, or sciatic,
Sciatic
what do you call
nerve.
that? Yes. And the back is something, it is the spine. We said it's really the principle that you have to take care of.
Mm.
And when you work at the office, you don't actually pay attention the way you sit it. And most of the time you are seated like this.
Hmm.
So when you're young, it's fine. But over the years, and then you can't open, and you can't, you don't even have, the feeling how to be straight.
Mm.
And the other thing about yoga is also about, I would say, health, mental health. I
Mm.
mean, the stress, we used to endure lots of stress. And most of the time, body gives you some alarms, when you don't want to, you are in the routine and you continue working, you have a back pain, you say, okay, fine. I take some, antalgic, and you say, okay, fine, it will pass. And you keep going like this. And I have seen even within the PA network that a few of them have had uh, what you call, I forgot, which is very trendy those days. You have a burnout.
Burnout. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. And if you think of, normally you have some alarms
Hmm.
saying, look, you have to take care. And I think for this, yoga is good. It's more than just taking care of your body. It's also taking care of your mind, actually, I would say. Without going to the spiritual side, I know that there's a lot of misconception about yoga. Most of people say, I'm not supple, I'm too old, I'm too fat, I'm too whatever. And this is not true. I mean, it is, you can do it, whatever your state.
Okay. So, as somebody who is, let's imagine an assistant, an executive assistant, a
Mhm,
young
mhm,
executive assistant who is 25 years old or
mhm.
something like that, new to the
Yes.
business, and we want to
Mhm,
help her to start her journey in a good, well way. The
mhm.
first thing the person is going to say is, I don't have time.
Yes.
How do you answer this person?
I'm saying that you take time, to make up to put some makeup, to the hairdresser and everything. The routine of yoga, it can take you just 5 minutes in the morning.
Hmm.
If you do it on a daily basis, 5 minutes is enough. I would say 10 minutes, but it is really enough. There are just simple exercise that everybody can do, like being even seated, at the office when you work.
Mm-hmm.
I know when you're under stress and everything, I'm sure you find a few seconds that you can just try to be straight. The big change between seated the way we are and just sit straight.
Mm-hmm.
Just this, just to be conscious of this. Yoga, I would say it's more also about breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Be conscious of your breath. Like, when you have I don't know, a very complicated situation, if you just close your eyes and breathe, like counting mentally 1, 2, 3, and it's really easy, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
habit to take, and
Now,
it calms the mind.
now it's one of those things that the more you do it, the more it becomes
Mhm.
part of you, the more natural it is, and then you don't
Yes.
have like a breakdown at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I was writing my book on mental health, that was one of the things that
Mhm.
was suggested to me by one of the psychologists, and she said that when people start having things like burnouts, one thing that they need to think about is how are you taking care of yourself and how do you understand your body? And one of the tips that she gives her clients is if they start doing mindfulness, yoga, pilates, you understand your body so much that when
Mhm.
something is not right, you notice it.
Yes. Yeah,
So
exactly.
is that something that you feel is something that you see with your clients where they understand their bodies, so they connect the body, the physical with the mental, with the spiritual?
Yes, actually, the one I have now for 6 months, because really, I really started to teach last winter.
Mm-hmm.
She said to me she's more calm. And then she has a very difficult boss. Sometimes she just yell at on the phone, and there's nothing she can do. She said that now she's capable of closing the eyes and breathing. Counting 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. It really sounds ridiculous, but I am surprised at what point nobody has conscious of breathing. You do you do breathe because it's an automatic, it's an
Yes.
automatic stuff. But think also the time you do apnea,
Hmm.
like when you stress, when
Yeah.
you do a big physical effort, anxiety also, those who has panic attack,
Yes.
and then you stop breathing. It comes from the diaphragm that
Mm-hmm.
really tight,
Mm-hmm.
and you are like you can't breathe. And breathing is one of the first thing that I teach in my yoga class.
So that was the interesting thing when so I've been on a weight loss journey for like 2 years
Mhm.
now. And
Mm.
I remember even when my personal trainer was teaching me a lot of things, like how to exercise and everything, they kept bringing up this breathe. And I'm like, of course I'm going to breathe. It's normal. And they were like, you are not even breathing correctly. Just focus on the
Yes.
breathing. Think about the breathing
Mhm.
because you do it, but you're doing it unconsciously. You need to be conscious of the breathing and then it
Yes.
makes an impact. And I totally see the difference in that.
Yes, you can. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And most of people, I mean, it's not only the peer, but you don't have conscious of your body.
Hmm.
You do
Yeah.
you do things, when you have to carry something there, you do it with the strength, and you have no idea. You cannot connect. As you said before, you need to connect, and yoga is there to connect with the body. Body,
Hmm.
body talks. People who doesn't want to see. There are many people who just they go forward. They're just not questioning themselves. They say, okay, fine, that goal is there. If anything goes wrong, it's keep going, keep going. And body talks even when the mind doesn't want, when the mind cannot be, how can I say, euh, je vais le dire en français, quand le mental peut pas s'exprimer,
Hmm.
euh, it is fine, hein, if I speak French,
Yes,
if I
yes,
speak.
yes. Yes, it's fine.
Dans beaucoup de situations qui sont et professionnelles et personnelles, il y a des situations qu'on sait, it's not right. On le sait, on le sent. Mais
Mm.
on dit, allez, hop, vas-y, 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 on tombe, c'est pas grave, on se lève, on continue.
On doit payer les
Et
factures.
yes, and body
Mm.
talks.
Yeah.
And it can go very, very far, if you don't listen. It's just not only the back pain. I have some friends who had a disease, but not like but they don't know on the medical side they have no clue where they
Hmm.
come from.
Yeah.
For me it's really an expression of your mental state.
And I think there's a lot of tension because I think when I was growing up, one of the things that people used to feel, there used to be a lot of people who had ulcers, and ulcers were always equated to um, stress. So it was
Mm.
always they had these ulcers and they were taking medication for it, but they were not working on the stress. And it's the same thing when people have high blood pressure. So they take the
Mhm.
medicine, but then they don't work on what is causing the stress. So I
Yes,
think
yeah, yeah.
sometimes just finding natural techniques of alleviating the
No,
stress would be well, I'm not saying don't take medicine, but I'm just saying that that can also be a good long-term approach to dealing with
yes.
whatever it is that is ailing the body. Yeah. Because that's the same thing
As
with people who have burnouts. They have burnouts and then they go back to work, but then they don't resolve what was causing the burnout. Yeah.
exactly. As I said, most of us, not all of us,
Yeah.
but health is a gift. We're
Yeah.
gifted
Mm-hmm.
because not everybody has a good health, unfortunately some, but we don't take care of it. It's like really like the other thing in life, you take it for granted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you take it, and you push it. It's like doing sports. There's some with misconception things that yoga is not a sport. That's true, it's not a sport, but they think it's really like boring and like meditation. No, no, it is not this. You can
Mm-hmm.
ask the few who are doing with me. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they said to me every time, "Oh, I didn't know. I discovered lots of muscle. I didn't even know that it existed." But the thing when you do sports, most of the time your approach to the sport, it
Mm.
is most of the time the same way that you approach your life,
Yes.
meaning competition, forcing. You keep forcing stuff
Mm-hmm.
instead of
Just give me 1 second.
okay,
Let's
go
go.
back.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what I was saying is, because most of people know that doing sports is good. Now, all the doctors come back, do some sport 2, 3 times a week. But
Mm-hmm.
as I said, most of people they approach sport like the sports, like they do it in life.
Mm-hmm.
Comparison, competition,
Mm-hmm.
pushing yourself, and actually nobody has that conscious of taking care.
Mm-hmm.
It does not matter if. your colleague, I don't know, he can run, I don't know, 10 kilometers and you can do just two. You know, there's that kind of mentality, it can come also probably with education that you have to do more, better, always, always. And for me, this is not the way to do sports. And
Yes.
yoga, it's definitely not about that.
Yeah,
You do
yeah.
what you can.
Mm-hmm.
And with time, you can improve, progress, do it. You know, yoga is like this. You have some position, simple, and you always have more complicated. The same position can be go further and further if you see. And I think that's the way also that you need to approach your private life in a sense of what you're doing.
Mm.
Stop competing. If you fail, it's not important,
If you fail,
you
it's
know.
not the end of the world. Yes.
Exactly. And if you, it's like being wrong, it's not important, you know.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yes, not wanting to be the number first, to be the first one, the best one, you know.
I don't do yoga, but I'm starting to think that maybe that is what I need because I feel like my life is very hectic and I just need
Mm,
to slow down sometimes. And I
mm,
feel
mm,
like if
mm.
I grasp that concept of slowing down, it might be something that can be really helpful for me. Anyway,
This is what
so
missing lots of people to
yes,
slow down.
we feel like we have so many targets to reach that we don't have enough time.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway, okay, so thank you very much, Sylvie. Is there anything you would like to
Welcome.
say in our last 3, 4 minutes?
Yeah, I would just say that I know the PA or even executive assistant, I know what our profession demands.
Yeah.
It's not seen in a realistic way, you know, but I know what it demands on a professional basis, but also on the emotional and, you know, personal, because when you're a PA, you're also taking, you know, care of the problem of the family or whatever.
Hmm.
And you need to find a safe space.
Hmm.
And that can be yoga, sports, I don't know, anything. As I said, you need to find a balance.
Yes,
You need
yes.
to be to feel yeah that balance between your professional world and your personal life.
Mm. Okay. All
Yes.
right. Thank you so much.
Hey,
And
thank you.
that was lovely.